So I think that this will be kind of officially the wrap-up for the Jussie Smollett thing. Unless, I don't know. There's always the OJ scenario, you know what I mean? I don't really see that happening, but I think that after this video is over with, we'll have pretty much handled what's happened, what's happening, and what's going to happen by the end of this all. So, for those of you who may not remember, Jussie Smollett is an actor on Empire. And he, as it seems to everybody else, all of a sudden, except me, I kind of knew as soon as I heard "went home with sandwich," whatever. Everybody is now kind of figuring out, or at least getting the balls enough to say, this is bullshit. The story is, he went out in Chicago in minus 20 degree polar vortex weather to go and get a Subway sub. Went to Subway, got the sub. Walking home with sub. He goes into an alleyway wherein he is attacked by two men who shout, "This is MAGA country," as well as other racial and sexual preference epithets, whatever. They yell a bunch of nasty things at him, and they poured bleach on him, tied a rope around his neck, and punched him a bunch. Right? He walks home with sandwich, rope, and fresh beating. Calls the police 45 minutes later. Police come, and they start to look into it. Now, if you could be a fly on the wall as the police are interviewing Jussie Smollett as to what happened, it would probably look something like they're sitting across from him, writing, probably one of them writing things down. Imagine the dude talking to the two cops, right? You got the one cop who's kind of looking around the place, looking through the fucking ashtray, oh, there's a fucking joint in there. You know what I mean? You got one cop who's kind of reading, taking it all in, so to speak, and seeing if there's anything underlying underneath. And then you got another cop who's interviewing the person, and he's going to be writing down notes and this sort of thing, right? So I imagine it kind of went maybe something like that, where they're asking him questions, and he's giving answers, and his answers are fucking stupid, and they're probably looking at each other like, you know what I mean? So that ends Jussie Smollett doing God's work, informing everybody that in Chicago there is a small two-man group of Trump-loving supporters, and that can't happen because apparently they're also beating up people. So things go on. We're looking at things, reviewing footage. We live in a surveillance culture now, so we're reviewing footage. We've got footage of everything except the alleyway that Jussie Smollett walked into. That's a funny point. Make sure I remember to bring that up later on. So, they're watching everything, and they only see Jussie Smollett and two other guys, right? Originally it was reported they were homeless. They were not homeless. They had a home. And it isn't interesting who exactly they are. Two co-stars of Jussie's from the show, Empire. Right? Watch the show. See if you can point them out. They're very big, buff dudes. It shouldn't be hard. There'll be security or something like that. Right? Bodyguards, you know. So, one of them, also, it so happens to be, was Jussie's physical trainer. Interesting that he should just happen to be out getting a Subway sub at the same time. I can only imagine that these guys are out getting Subway subs. How odd it is for their worlds to collide in such a way on the same fateful evening that Jussie Smollett gets attacked. What a shame. Right? So, nobody else in the world except those 3 guys, and Jussie got attacked by 2 people. So that angle was kind of looked into. Found out who these guys are. Found out that they had left the country right after the event happened, pretty much. The next day or so, they left the country. But not forever. They came back, right? It's like in The Godfather. Michael kills the cop and the other guy, and then he goes over to Corleone for a while, and then Michael comes back, you know. 1 wife less, but he went there without a wife in the first place, so who cares? But, yeah, you know, kind of like that. So they come back after the heat has died down, right? Wrong. They get picked up. They get questioned. Now, we're already well into people going, this motherfucker made this shit up. There's nothing. Right? It's been a while since it came out that those 2 guys were caught on film. And now all of a sudden, when the questioning's getting really hot and heavy, Jussie goes, those were the guys. I know those were the guys. Those were the guys. Obviously. Because they're the only other 2 human beings in the entirety of the city of Chicago on the streets at that time. You got attacked by 2 men. There's 2 men. There's you. If those aren't the people that attacked you, where the fuck are the people that attacked you? Those are the guys. Obviously. Right? So they pick these 2 guys up, and they say, Jussie Smollett has declared that you are the people that attacked him. We are now putting you under arrest for the crime of attacking Jussie Smollett. And they went, whoa, hold up. Let's talk for a second. See, actually what happened is, Jussie came to us and said, I want to perpetrate this hoax. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get some magazines. We're going to get a piece of paper. We're going to get an envelope. Get some crayons. Look like. And we're going to write a little hate letter to myself. And we're going to mail it to me. And then everybody will be like, oh my God, Donald Trump is such a horrible person because this note says MAGA and calls Jussie Smollett bad names. And threatens him. Right? That's what we're going to do. Well, you think they're really going to take that seriously? I mean, this looks like a child did it. And then he goes, oh, you're right. We're not good artists, even though I'm an artist. Doctors and doctors. Anyways. So, well, what are we going to do then? How do we get them to take it seriously? I know. You have any Tylenol sitting around? As it happens, I got half a bottle. Fucking sweet. Take that Tylenol, crush that shit up. You know, pour a little crack on it. And we'll fucking send that shit in the mail. So they send that shit in the mail, right? And then, oh my God, he gets this letter. Opens the letter. There's powder in it. Oh. State of emergency is called. The hazmat group was sent in. Everybody gets checked and searched and medical okayed, and we gotta take all this shit in, test it. They tested it, and it was Tylenol. And they said, well, you know, anything else happens, you know our number. And nobody gave shit. You probably don't remember this, unless you watch the news a lot like I do. You probably don't remember this, because nobody fucking talked about it. Because who gives a shit if some asshole on a TV show gets a threatening letter? I've gotten threatening things. So, like, and I'm nowhere near as popular as Jussie Smollett. Especially now. So, yeah. I think most people probably know somebody that does something kind of like what I do, or some such the like, and they probably tell them stories about, yeah, you get hate shit all the time, you get threats all the time, whatever. Who cares? When they're on my door, I'll shoot through my door. Until then, I don't know. I don't know if it's somebody talking or if it's somebody fucking just talking. Because Nobody's really, like, continued to pester me. I haven't gotten anybody that continued to pester me. So, I block them everywhere, and I never hear from them again. So, fuck if I know. Right? I could have somebody hunting me down right now. I'm not in a room with any windows, so I'm good. But yeah, fucking people get threats all the time. He got a threatening letter in the mail that had some Tylenol sprinkled on it. Gives a fuck, right? So, because that did not get the desired response, Jussie decided with his 2 cohorts, at least this is the way I'm framing it, because I am everywhere and I know all things, apparently, gets with his cohorts, says, alright, we got a new plan. Let's go to the store. Go to the store. We're going to get that rope. We're going to get that bottle of bleach. I got a plan. Boss got a plan. Alright, I'll get the rope. You get the bleach. And the 2 henchmen go off. The boss has a plan. Right? They get their shit. Go back to the place. Here's the plan. I am going to go out to get a sandwich on this night. Now, I don't think Jussie Smollett has ever played a meteorologist, so he wouldn't know that the fucking polar vortex is coming. They scheduled a night for this. Boss, it's cold. You sure you still want to do this? Yeah, we're committed at this point. The bleach isn't going to freeze. Fuck it, let's go. Right? So, these guys get captured on camera, getting into a cab. Oh, shit. I need to change the motherfucking battery. I wonder how much of that you guys are going to get to see. Alright. So, they're caught on camera, getting into the cab to go to the location. They're caught on camera, their entire trek, all the way through the city, everywhere they go. Except the one place that apparently the boss figured there'd be cameras pointing down this way. They were actually looking to do this in a place where it would get caught on camera so that he could go, those are the guys. Right? The one place in the city that's not on camera. So, and I honestly, I don't think that Jussie ever thought that the guys were going to get, picked up and named. I figure that he figured we were just never going to know who those guys were. Those were just the guys that attacked him. And it was going to be, a magic bullet type thing. They'll never, this case will just never be solved, right? So it can just go on forever. I constantly live in fear for my life now, all that kind of stuff. So, but unfortunately, they were looking into those guys because they were the only other 2 human beings in existence in Chicago on the streets. So, they were going to find those guys no matter what. Like, that was going to happen. So, these guys get named, they get picked up, they get threatened, they roll on Jussie. They throw out the whole fucking thing. Like, dude. And now, here's the funny part. I mean, it's not funny for Jussie. I honestly don't really think it's funny. It's just funny in one of those kind of ain't this a funny world type of ways. Jussie is actually looking at federal charges. And that is not a joke. Jussie Smollett is actually going to quite possibly face federal charges. Why? Because he hoaxed getting jumped in an alley? No. He's actually not half bad right there. Where he's bad is, he mailed himself that letter with that suspicious white aspirin sprinkled on it. And unfortunately for Jussie, the post office is that's federal. Like, that's a federal body. So he not only is going to probably face some sort of perpetrating a hoax type thing, conspiracy to whatever, I don't know. They love to just stack charges when they can, man. They're going to get him for every fucking aspect of all of this. Wasting police resources. He's probably going to have to repay the city. Like, dude. But he brings in federal charges. It's like, you know, you've got assault and battery, right? Assaulting somebody is where you're just assaulting somebody. But if you assault somebody with like a stick, like if you're fighting with somebody, that's assault. You pick up a stick and hit them, that's assault and battery, right? Like, now you're picking up additional charges. And here's the funny thing. If you pick up something that's not a stick, it's something that reaches into the area of federal charges somehow. Like, now you're committing assault and federal battery, which is like battery on crack. It's like way battery. Like, everything's bigger whenever it's federal shit. And the feds, their time is actually precious. Like, the cops are gonna just be pissed off about this. But the cops get run around on bullshit all the fucking time. You ever hear the people who call the police because McDonald's won't give me my sandwich or whatever? They won't give it to me the way I want it made. And they call the police for that shit? Like, that, you know, this shit happens all the time. So this is just another way where, because of this guy's stature, and because of his celebrity, they really had to invest a lot of time and effort into this because they can't fuck it up. Makes the city look bad, makes the state look bad, makes the governor look bad, makes the mayor look bad, makes the police department look bad, make everybody look bad. So they are all 1,000% invested in making sure that the bad guy gets caught. Jussie Smollett was 1,000% invested in everybody just believing there was an ephemeral bad guy boogeyman out there that, you know, attacks people who go, you know, attacks black people who go for subs in the middle of the night. Right? It's Krampus all over again. Came out of the freezing wind. Screaming MAGA. MAGA! You can, still gives me chills. So, this asshole, because he decided to mail himself a hoax letter through the mail to kick this whole thing off, and then when that failed, he decided to then do this whole other thing, and now they're pretty much saying, oh, we've found the magazines at the henchman's place, right? We're beginning to paint a pretty fucking clear picture of what's going on here, the three of you all together. And these guys are definitely taking a deal. You're getting sent up the long, hard way, Jussie. I'm so sorry to tell you, you have fucked yourself so bad. They're already starting to write him off of the show. His scenes are getting cut. The whole scene is just taken out. Shit's getting rewritten. They're writing his fucking ass out of the show. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just replace him with Nick Cannon. Because I'm sure Nick could do it. Because, they can't have Don Cheadle do it. And I can't think of other guys that really, you know, are known for doing that. But they can't have Don Cheadle on there because, you know, Terrence Howard. Right? Anybody get that? Anybody else see the first Iron Man? Did anybody notice that War Machine changed a little bit between the first and the second Iron Man? It was Terrence Howard in the first Iron Man, who happens to be the main star, well, co-main star of Empire. Can't have Don Cheadle come on and take Jussie's job because that would be what Don Cheadle did to Terrence Howard. That might be bad blood. So, you know, but Nick Cannon could do it. I don't know why don't just replace him with Nick. I don't know. So, yeah, whatever. What tangled webs we weave when first we begin to deceive. It was extraordinarily poorly thought out. It was an extraordinarily bad idea. These kind of things tend to catch up with you, especially when you're actively seeking police involvement. Like the things that this guy must just think about this country. He obviously thinks that the police are inept at their jobs. Right? I mean, he could have wrote the confession and, like, hid it somewhere in his apartment and been like, well, if you guys want to know if it's a hoax or not, I guess you're just going to have to do your jobs and search my place. I don't know. There might be a confession letter in here. I don't know. Like, he might as well have fucking done that. This couldn't have been laid out more shitty. He walked home with the sub. Anyways, so it was a terribly botched job. Clearly he thinks the police are bad at their job. This is very untrue. They're just not omniscient. They haven't hired me for anything. They can't see into all windows and know all things at all times. You know what I mean? So, sometimes they fuck shit up. Sometimes they get shit wrong. They're going against people who are actively trying to deceive them. And many of them are far more intelligent than Jussie Smollett. Can't say all of them. I've watched Cops. Many of them. So, he obviously thinks that, which is terribly wrong. And for some odd reason, he thinks that this country, because of Donald Trump, is so racist and hates black and gay people so much that he needed to show everybody how terrible we are by setting up a fake attack on him to show this country how nasty this country really is. He needed to do this because it wasn't happening. God damn it. All those white people are hiding their crimes, their hate crimes so well. I need to let everybody know that it's really happening out there. Yeah, so, you know, what are you going to do? Fucking, I mean, it's just, it's so asinine. It's so stupid. And the reaction from the press and celebrities and politicians has been just fucking sad. Every politician that came out and immediately declared, day one, that this is the most horrible thing that's ever happened in the entirety of the U.S. history, how dare somebody attack Jussie Smollett? Who's Jussie Smollett, you ask? The guy on Empire. What's Empire, you ask? That TV show that is geared entirely towards black people that apparently 2 MAGA supporters watch. Terrible what happened to him. I can't believe this. Modern day lynching, they called it, and honestly, I can't help but agree a little bit. Because that's lynching in the modern day, folks. People making shit up. I mean, I'm not going to make a statement like that emphatically. I mean, I can't really, because I'm sure that there are some evil, terrible people in places in this country that still do that shit. And I don't really know what the lynching bill is about, because as far as I knew, it's been a crime for a long time to do that. And even at the very least, murder is still a fucking crime. And they can always tack on the hate crime charge, right? So, you know, like, I don't get it. It seems kind of redundant to me. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know. So, yeah, whatever it is, I guess it's good. If it's anti-lynching, I'm for it, but you know, whatever. So, you know, that's what they called it. Modern day lynching. And fucking, here we are. And what do they say now? Oh, well, you know, it's still a case in progress, and we need to see where all the evidence leads. Huh? Wait a minute. You we're absolutely dead fucking sure this happened. Now that you've actually heard the story, and so has everybody else, and anybody with a brain can tell it's fucking retarded, now you want to wait for evidence. And I would ask if they're going to remember that the next time this shit happens, but they won't. You want to know how I know that? Because Covington was, what, 2 months ago? And they did the same fucking thing there. So they ain't going to fucking learn. So, that's the politicians. Celebrities, well, they're just deleting shit. Like, they're all just kind of like, fuck it. Move on to the next travesty. Who cares? You know, just pack up shop and go. Somebody else clean with the bodies. Ain't my fucking job, right? I make the bodies. I don't clean up after them. So, you know, there's that. And the press. The press has decided to either question why the police would even question this or whatever. They're still sticking to it. Or, as one person wrote, that if this happened to be a hoax, that would be awful. Not because it was a hoax, not because Jussie Smollett tried to fucking play us, but because this is something that conservatives are now going to use every time anybody ever accuses anything of anything ever. And that is just not a world that I can allow to be. I would far rather I live in a country, in a world, where people who support the president just attack black people, gay people on the streets for no reason other than black and gay. I would rather live in that world. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to live in that world. I'm quite happy to not be living in that world. But you know what other world I don't want to live in? I don't want to live in a world where fucking this kind of thing happens and people say that kind of shit. And unfortunately, I'm living in that world. It's disgusting. The greater portion of the reaction to all of this, throughout the entirety of all of this, has been disgusting. From the outset, it was, we believe, fuck the evidence. Covington, we thought that way, and we were wrong. Well, not I, and not many of you. I'm speaking as one of the morons, right? We thought that way, because we're dumb, for Covington, and we were wrong, and that was bad. And the Washington Post is fucking getting sued for, like, the value of the company. Which I think is amazing. It really puts a nice twist on the bitch I'll own you fucking argument when you are suing a company. So, I'm gonna sue you for control of your company and then fire you because I don't like you. Like that, that kind of thing. Really, Yeah, so that was bad. And just getting worse, and believe me, I can't wait to start covering that. And then before that, we had Kavanaugh. That was bad. Like, dude. It's sad. It's really fucking sad that we live in a world where people so badly want to live in a terrible world that they're willing to manufacture it. And when it comes out that no, that's manufactured, they get pissed. Because they don't live in a terrible world. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. What the fuck are we doing? Like, and every time one of these things happen, I think to myself, is this going to be it? Is this going to be where everybody kind of goes, okay, fucking hold on a second. What are we doing here? And straightens themselves out mentally? Or is it just a thing where, like this, you know, we've picked up a couple thousand more from this one. And then the next one will pick up a couple thousand more people that are going to be like, well, fucking, all this is fucking ridiculous and done. I don't know. What do you want? Yeah. There you go. So, I believe that most likely Jussie's gonna be arrested. I believe that most likely he's gonna be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I would say that most likely he's gonna be found guilty. And I would say that most likely he's gonna wind up doing some fucking hard time. And we reap what we sow.